Hello, this is the first of a series of videos which I'm going to go over the work we've done in the previous week just for a bit of revision and to recap everything. Okay? First of all, we need to ask ourselves what grade we're going to get at the end of this year. We're going to be aiming for a 4 or a 5. How are we going to get there? We're going to get there by working really hard. Let's get to it. So, first thing we're going to look at is multiples. So multiples, remember, is the times table of a number. So here we've got the multiples of 4, and that means any number in the 4 times table. So we look through the box, 12 is in the 4 times table, so we're going to write 12 here. A factor of 21, remember factor are usually in pairs, and they're numbers that you multiply together to make this number. So two numbers that multiply together, or a number that will multiply together to make this number. So if we look up, we go 3 times 7 is 21. So therefore 3 is a factor of 21. A prime number, so remember a prime number is a number that only has 2 factors, one in itself. So any other number that goes into any other factor of these numbers can't be a prime number. So if it has another factor, so 18 has got 3 in it, can't be. 9's got 3 in it. 42 has got 2 in it. 6 has got 2 in it. 12 has got 2 in it. 81 has got 9 in it. 30 has got 10 in it. So none of those can be prime numbers. Okay, 11, only 1 and 11 go into it. 3, only 1 and 3 go into it. So you can have 11 or 3. Square number, remember your square numbers are 1 times 1, which is 1, 2 times 2, which is 4, 3 times 3, which is 9, and there we've got 9 up here. Okay, that's 9. So 9 is our square number. If you carried on, 4 times 4, 5 times 5, 6 times 6, you eventually get to 9 times 9, which is 81, which we've also got here. Okay, so there we go. You could have 9 or 81. Okay, moving on to product of prime factors. Remember, that's your factor tree. So you start with 140 at the top. Because it's an even number, we can always divide by the easiest prime number, which is 2. So 140 divided 2 is with 70. Okay, again, it's an even number, so we can divide it by 2 again, which leaves us with 35. 35 is not a prime number and it's not even. But if it ends in a 5, we can divide it by 5. Okay, 35 divided by 5 is 7, which is a prime number. So our final answer here, we've got 2 2's. So we write 2 squared times by 5 times by 7. Okay, 720, same idea. So 720. So you can always pause these and have a go and then check against 9. You can go 2, your prime number, and 360, which is not a prime number. It's an even number, so we can divide by 2 again, which gives us 180. Okay, again, not prime but even, so we can go by 2 again. And obviously there's different ways of doing these, but we should always end up with the same answer either way. So 90 divided by 2 is going to give us 45. 45, we can't divide by 2 because an odd number, but it's got a 5 at the end, so we know it's going to be 5. So we can divide by 5, which gives us 9. Again, 9, be careful, 9 is not a prime number. So we break that down again. What goes into 9? 3 times 3. Okay, so our final answer, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 2's. So 2 to the power of 4 multiplied by, we've got 2 3's, so 3 squared, multiplied by 5. Okay, try and put them in size order, so 2, 3, and 5. Okay, next we'll look at some negative work. So here we've got negative 6 multiplied by 3. Well, we know 6 times 3 is 18. So we can write that 18. When we have one negative, it makes the answer negative, or the result a negative. Okay, so we put negative 18. Here we've got 5, negative 5, plus negative 4. When we have a positive or an add and a minus after it, a negative after it, these two become a minus. So we start at negative 5 and we're taking away 4. Remember, if we're taking away, we're going to the left, and if we're adding, we're moving to the right. So if we're starting at negative 5 and we're taking 4 away, 1, 2, 3, 4 takes us to negative 9. 27 divided by negative 9. Again, we've got 1 minus, so it means this is going to be a minus. 27 divided by 9 is 3, so 27 divided by negative 9 is going to be negative 3. Okay, here we've got negative 4 multiplied by negative 5. Right, what we always remember is two negatives make a positive. Okay, everyone tells me that all the time. So here we've got a negative here multiplied by another negative. We cancel each other out, gives us 20. Okay, final one, negative 8, take away or subtract negative 18. Okay, again we've got two negative signs there, two minuses. When they're next to each other, they become a plus. So we're starting at negative 8 and we're adding, so we're moving to the right, 18. 1, so be careful, you count from the next one you get to. So that's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, takes us to 10. Okay, so you might want to pause the video here just to familiarize yourselves with these metric units. We've got length here, we measure on a ruler. Capacity liquid, that's liquids, we see it in bottles. Weight and mass, that's our weights we see in the supermarket as well. So pause it, try and memorize these, and then we'll move on. Okay, so let's put that into practice. Here we've got 10 millimeters, and we just saw that 10 millimeters is 1 centimeter. So let's put that into practice. So we've got this first one, 2 centimeters. Well, if 10 millimeters is 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters is going to be 20 millimeters. Let's get rid of all these. So 14 centimeters. Well, if 2 centimeters is 20, look, we're timesing by 10. To get from centimeters to millimeters, we're multiplying by 10. So going from centimeters to millimeters, we multiply by 10, which gives us 140 millimeters. If we're multiplying by 10 to get from there to there, to do the opposite, we're going to be dividing by 10. So if we've got 100 millimeters, and we need to make that to centimeters, we divide that by 10. 100 divided by 10 is 10 centimeters here. Okay, same idea again. We've got 85 millimeters. We need to divide that by 10. Decimal points at the end. Move it 1 to the left, which is dividing by 10, which gives us 8.5 centimeters. Okay. So 100 centimeters we've seen is equal to 1 meter. Okay, so let's investigate that a bit further. So again, instead of multiplying or dividing by 10, because 1 meter is 100 centimeters, we're multiplying or dividing by 100. So if 200 centimeters, if 100 centimeters is 1 meter, 200 centimeters is 2 meters. So we've just divided by 100. 1.5 meters, so 1 meter is 100, so 1.5, that's 1.5. 1.5 meters will be 150 centimeters. 145 centimeters to meters, so we're dividing by 100 now, so that's going to be 1.45 meters, and 11 meters to centimeters, so we're going meter to centimeter, so that's a multiplication of 100, so that's going to give us 1,100 centimeters. Right, moving to kilometers and meters. So from our fact sheet we just looked at, we've got 1 kilometer being 1,000 meters. So to get from kilometers to meters, we're multiplying by 1,000, and to get from meters to kilometers, we are dividing by 1,000. Right, let's put that into practice. So 1.2 kilometers to meters, so again kilometers to meters, we multiply by 1,000, gives 1,200 meters. 1,500 meters to kilometers, we're going back the other way, So we've got the meters, we need to get to kilometers, so we divide by 1,000. Decimal points there, 1, 2, 3. Decimal point goes there, so we're at 1.5. Kilometers to meters again, so going back this way again, we're multiplying by 1,000, 2,700. And 2.07 kilometers into meters, we're going kilometers to meters, so we're multiplying by 1,000. So we're going to move this 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3. Your point goes there, and you fill a 0 in there. So we've got 2,070 meters. Let's put that in there. Make sure you put your units. And the last one. So I've got 925 meters. So again, we've got our decimal place there, and we're going to divide by 1,000. So that's divide by 10, divide by 100, divide by 1,000. Our point goes there. We need to put 0 at the front, which gives us 0.925 kilometers. Two other common metric units are grams, kilograms, and milliliters and liters. But the method is exactly the same for grams, kilograms, milliliters and liters as it is for meters and kilometers. So 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams, and 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters. So again, we'll just go through these. So if you've got 7 kilograms, again, to go from kilograms to grams, we multiply by 1,000, so that's 7,000. To go from grams to kilograms, we divide by 1,000, so 10, 100, 1,000 gives us 5.5. 9.9 kilograms multiplied by 1,000, so 1, 2, 3. Fill in the zeros. So we've got 9,900. And from grams to kilograms, we have to divide by 1,000. 1, 2, 3. Point goes here. Put a 0 in front. So you put 0.500, but all you need to put is 0.5. Okay. Same method again for our liters to milliliters. So we've got 5 liters. Multiply it by 1,000. Gives us 5,000 milliliters. 6,700 milliliters. We need to divide that by 1,000. So it's 6.7. If we put the point there. 1, 2, 3. 2.5 liters. You're multiplying by 1,000. So 2,500. And 550 milliliters. So we're going from milliliters to liters. So we have to divide by 1,000. So 1, 2, 3. Jumps, and we have 0.55 liters. Okay, so that's the roundup for last week. Remember, we always got to ask ourselves this question: what do you want to get at the end of this year, and are you going to work hard to get there? Okay, well, I'll catch you next week for the next recap.